Randy Seedorff has been writing and performing for over 30 years, with his interest in music starting at the young age of 11. And he's here with us now. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on today, Toby. I appreciate it.
Well, it's great to have you on today. Now, your song is called Dream. So, can you just tell us a little bit about that song, a basic description of it?
Sure. There's kind of a story that goes along with the song. Kenny Loggins he met Georgia Middleman and a guy by the last name of Burr in Nashville. And he wanted to start a new group called the Blue Sky Riders. And he went to his record company and told them that he wanted to start a new group. And they said, "What, are you nuts? You know, you're Kenny Rogers. You have all these Grammys and you have all these great accomplishments." And right after that, they wrote the song Dream, which is about never being too old to go for it, never being too old to go for your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's a really important message, that some people might just give up their dreams if they think they're not achievable anymore because of their age. But really, anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, I just a couple of months, well, it's been less than a month ago now, I graduated from college. I waited till later in life after I'd raised my family and all that to begin my college career. And, after you've raised a family and all that, those kind of things become more important to you. Yeah. But it's really important not to give up on that.
Yeah. I guess maybe going to college when you're perhaps a little bit older than normal is maybe better, because you come at it with a better perspective perhaps, and because you've already had a family, nothing is going to get in the way, I suppose, because that's already happened.
Well, I think the wonderful part of going to school as an older person is people look to you and ask for your advice about where you've already been, so you can kind of mentor younger students. Also, I think I took school a lot more seriously as an older person than I did when I was a young man.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure, because there's no time for messing about. And being at college where, a lot of the fellow students are younger, did you feel a bit left out, or were there still similar people like you there?
Oh, there were several older students, and 99% of my college career has been online learning.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that has really been a good vehicle for people who wanted to go back and complete a degree, that they wanted to finish something that they had started, or get some training in an area where they wanted to go off and start a new career.
Yeah, absolutely. So for your song Dream, did you also record this during the COVID times?
I did. It was kind of, we had to put some things on hold for a while as we were putting the project together, because some of the musicians weren't comfortable coming into the studio for very good and obvious reasons. I'm not trying to hate on anybody here. It just, we had to take some precautions, and then when we felt like everyone was comfortable with it, then we went forward. We recorded at Awestruck Studios here in Kansas City. Larry Gann is the producer of the record. He's worked with Elton John, the Backstreet Boys, John Rich, just a whole host of big time artists.
Yeah, so it's great to have somebody working on your song that's got some good stuff behind them. It gives you that confidence.
Well, he's just a wonderful person to collaborate with, and a great producer, and again, very experienced. He's done many albums. So
yeah, absolutely. So how did you first start to get into music? Because it was when you were quite young, I gather.
Well, hanging in my office here is a poster from KOEL radio in my hometown, where my mother was a country music personality. She was a country music artist, and so I grew up with that in my house. Her brother, my uncle, was also a country music artist. His name was Keith Thompson. And so we the influence was there from a very young age. I was around music all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess country particularly seems to be one of those things where you sort of absorb it from your environment when you grow up.
Yeah. Country artists back then, in that time period, there was no internet, obviously.
Yeah.
So fans, when they wanted to request a song on the radio or when they wanted to correspond with the artist, they wrote letters.
Yeah.
And we've just not too long ago came across some of my mother's fan letters that she kept. And in fact, one of her fans even named one of their children after her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's quite incredible.
What an honor.
Yeah. You've got a real fan when that happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I suppose growing up under the spotlight of somebody like your mother, does it feel strange to sort of be recognized in your own right?
Well, no, it's really one of the reasons that we did this record. It's kind of like this is my fourth studio album, and this one I wanted to kind of dedicate to my family. I wanted it to be I wanted to pass on the legacy, so to speak.
Yeah.
There is a musical legacy in our family, and I wanted my children and my grandchildren to know, hey, this has been a part of our family history, and we want you to know that these songs on this record were really important. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, do you have any more songs in the future that you're hoping to release as well?
Yes, I've begun writing for another project that I'd like to start work on this winter. It's yet unnamed, but as a songwriter, I always have some songs that are in different stages of completion.
Yeah.
That's kind of part of my songwriting process.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're not making music, do you have exciting things that you get up to in that spare time?
Well, I'm a minister. I'm a pastor. So I spend quite a bit of my time on the weekends leading worship and oftentimes preaching. So I stay pretty occupied with that. I do music evangelism. We've just booked a series of concerts for the incarcerated. We'll be doing prison concerts coming up this summer. So
yeah. And I suppose music is a big part of the church as well, isn't it?
It is. It's an integral part of the worship experience, and that's something that I've been doing for almost 25 years now.
Wow.
So enjoy it very much.
Yeah, I guess it's great to do something you enjoy. Two things you enjoy, really, both music and being a minister.
I'm married. I have 5 children, and I have 10 grandchildren.
Wow.
And we live in a northern suburb of Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
And so I spend a lot of time working around our home, working outside and taking care of the place. It's quite a big piece of land that we have to take care of. So.
Oh yeah, that must be fun. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Well, where are we able to check out all your music if we'd like to listen to it?
Well, you can go to my website, randyseedorff.com. That's spelled SEEDORFF. And there's actually a link to Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music there. YouTube, all of the digital platforms.
Yeah, so there's no excuse not to listen to you because you're everywhere.
Yes, and if you want to buy actual or download, you can actually do it from our website.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been great having you here.
Toby, can I ask you a question before you go?
Okay.
You sound like you're from the UK. Am I accurate in that?
Yes, you are correct.
What part of the UK are you from?
I'm from Scotland.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I had the honor 2 years ago to go on tour with my friend Shane Roots and do a short tour of 6 cities in the north of England, and the last 2 days in Manchester.
Yeah.
So I didn't get as far as Scotland, but I got up near Liverpool. So I got up that far north. But I love your country, and I love the people there. They're wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess going to Liverpool and Manchester, they're one of the two biggest cities for music. So it would have been great to go there, I suppose.
Yes. The only inconvenience of being in the UK was having to unload equipment in the rain every day.
Oh, so. Yeah. It's a bit of a nightmare, I suppose.
Oh, it was beautiful, though.
Yeah. We've had quite a nice summer so far, which is kind of suspicious because it feels like we're somewhere near the equator with the amount of sun we've had.
Well, thank you for having me on today, and I appreciate the wonderful questions and for your hospitality. Thank you, sir.